In your keynote here at Cable Congress, you talked about the difference between true convergence of fixed and mobile and the discounting and bundling that's happening at the moment. Can you tell me what you think the difference is between true convergence and what's happening now, and what you need to put in place, or what needs to be put in place to enable true convergence to take place?
I mean, convergence today is really discount convergence, so you basically give customers a discount to buy all the products from you as an operator. Which is at the end of the day a price reduction. True convergence is customer insight driven. So you try to give customers basically the content they want or the software they want, wherever they are, on whatever device they want, right? So the customer is really in control of their own lives and of their own content and their own usage. And devices, networks become completely agnostic and are just ubiquitously there for the customer to be used.
And what sort of regulatory requirements do you see as being necessary to enable true convergence to take place?
The first thing which is important going forward is content drives data consumption, and data consumption drives monetization. We need to have content. Content, if I take for example the UK, if you as a customer use Netflix or Sky, your data consumption would be somewhere between 3 and 4 gig. If you don't, but you're on 3G, it's only 1 gig. So it just shows you how much more customers use it, and they get used to really using the cloud. So content is very important. Now some operators are trying to basically get content exclusive and kind of corner the market. If they were to come through with that, right, then we would have an issue because content would not be accessible to everybody. So what we believe is important is that content continues to be accessible at right prices with the right monetization, but accessible to everybody to be used and shared with the customers. That's the first one. The second one is we started as a mobile operator. As a mobile operator, you're national. Right? As a cable operator, you're typically regional. Now, as you integrate cable assets into a total telco proposition, you still need to have a national proposition, which basically means that wherever you don't have a cable footprint, you still need access to NGA technology ideally in a non-discriminatory way, meaning no margin squeeze and no service squeeze. And that's something really the incumbents are resisting, and they're trying to remonopolize the infrastructures and not to share them with us anymore.
Now Vodafone's obviously made major investments in cable over the last couple of years. Why invest in cable? What is good about cable infrastructure versus other fixed assets that you could acquire?
I mean, cable is an NGA technology, so it's a superior asset. It's comparable to fiber assets, which we're also deploying, and it's definitely superior to a copper asset which is used in DSL, VDSL, vectoring, etc., etc. Right? So from that point of view, we're very interested in owning or having access to future-proof technologies, and cable and FTTH are future-proof technologies. They also have the advantage from a customer point of view that the servicing you need to do on these technologies is much lower because they're much more stable. Right? Copper, you have more problems than you have on a fiber infrastructure. And last but not least, if we own the infrastructure ourselves, right, the service person going to the customer is then typically somebody we gave the job to do so, and not the incumbent's service man. And that also makes a difference because we can guarantee a much better service then to our customers than if we have to rely on somebody who is forced to sell his products to us.
Now, how big do you think the quad play market is overall in the European countries that you're involved in, and how central is quad play to your overall strategy as a company?
For us, it's very central into our overall strategy. We said we want to evolve from a mobile-only player to converged player in our major European countries, and we are on the path to do so, either by acquiring certain assets or by launching, which is what we do in the majority of cases, some organic fixed propositions into the market. So we believe it is important, but it's important long term. It's important not as it is today, which is purely a discount game. It's important as it will be tomorrow, which is insight driven, following customers wherever they are, on whatever the device they want, on whatever network they care to be on.
Now, you've talked about the existing convergence as being discount driven. How much of a danger do you think there is of a price war destroying the value of converged operators versus the possibility of building value through service level convergence?
No, I think the cases of Spain and Portugal show that if you do a discount-based convergence, you destroy value for the industry. Yeah, so the markets have shrunk by a good 30%. So we don't think it is a very intelligent strategy to do that. And our impression is that the incumbents in other geographies across Europe are looking very, very carefully and analyzing the Spanish and the Portuguese case and are not trying to fall into the same trap. So we have the impression, but history will tell, that we are moving now into a more rational and more customer insight-led convergence in the rest of Europe than what we have seen in the beginnings in Spain and Portugal.
And what sort of services, advanced services, could drive the consumer take-up of a true converged service that we haven't yet seen, for example? Yeah,
start with very basic TV services and series, and making them available in a catch-up mode, so you can watch the services whenever you want, right? And once you have got news that you can be in charge of your own agenda, you will not want to change that anymore. Yeah, you will not go back to the world where you said, okay, I need to be home now. At 8 o'clock it's news, right? You will watch the news when you want to, right? So I think it will fundamentally change the way customers consume content. Right? If I take myself, right, I watch everything on catch-up, right? So I watch most of it in mobile, right? So I couldn't imagine going back to an old linear TV setting. Impossible.